Hello. Hey Jax, how you doing? Okay. So I've been wanting to do a live for a long time. But I haven't really been in the mindset to get on here and do one. Hey, how's it going? But there's something inside me that just feels like it's important to let people in a little bit more. I think I've had some fear around putting myself out there, and I don't know if it's just fear or if it's an intense need to offer myself some self-care in this moment, but it's very easy to get wrapped up in the daily expectations that are now out there for us as far as social media people that present themselves. And it's so beautiful to watch people be in their light and to be able to express themselves so fully and to show just this wonderful side of themselves. But there is always an opposite end of every light worker's mission work and why they're here. And so when you see people and you see them presenting themselves in this gorgeous way where they're eloquent and they are able to bring you up to that other level of motivation and drive, it takes a lot of work to get to that point, and they're not always going to be at the top of their game, which leads me to where I am right now. Most of you guys know I got extremely sick in March of last year, and I also was doing some real deep diving into shadow work and inner work. And before I went into it, I was in a really, really good headspace, like a super good headspace, where I felt that consistent spark, and I started setting positive boundaries for myself. I started taking initiative on what my heart really felt and what I really wanted for myself. And within those expectations for myself, I started to create a story, and I attached it to everything that I experienced. And as much as that's a really beautiful thing, it can also create this fantasy and this you almost you can almost get wrapped up in the idea of perfection and spirit and the universe and all these offerings that we're getting and all these opportunities at one time. And it is infinite, and there's limitless possibilities for us, but not everything that we experience we're meant to hold on to. And it's a big lesson when you create those expectations and then they fall from beneath you, and you're left with the shadows of feeling, like you're not adequate, or like you're not good enough, or like you did something wrong. And so that's kind of where I've been at. When I got really sick, everything seemed to be going good, but I was already down this spiral, and I was already starting into this place of overanalyzing myself and not looking at things in the right way. And I, came on here and I wore a mask a lot because I don't like bringing people down. I want people to see the good part of life, how everybody else does it, how everybody else presents themselves and shows all the great work that they've done. And I know I've done a lot of good work, but there's a lot of shame and guilt when you're not up to that level, when you could be, and then you put blocks on yourself. It didn't help, obviously, with the sickness and everything. Sorry, my nose just keeps running. But, needless to say, I went into a really, really deep depression. Severe depression. And, I'm working through it right now. And if ever you see posts that I made within the last year, I just want you to be aware that even if you saw light, there's still quite a lot of darkness behind everything. And I think most of us do that. We don't want to burden people with our own struggles, because we have high hopes for ourselves and we have high hopes for other people, and we don't want to hurt them. I'll just let you guys know, I know you're writing some questions and I would love to answer them, and I will for sure get to them. Thank you for being a part of this and for giving some energy into this, because it's not easy to walk through this topic for me. I have this this intense desire to be seen for everything that I've been through and I've gone through and gotten to the other side of, and to showcase that resilience. And it's not like, I think that there is some parts of that are for me, because it reminds me of that beautiful strength that I have and that everybody can have. But I also sometimes, just feel like it's a show, like it's like why do I feel the urge to consistently have to be better? And it's like a feeling of inadequacy that is deeply rooted, and I've done a lot of work over the last bit year. Too much thinking, really, to the point where I got sick at one point, and the depression was so bad that I had a breaking point. I couldn't get out of my head, and I got super sick, and it was like the entire world changed for that single moment. But I want to be as authentic as possible with everybody, and I want everybody to be as authentic as they can be too, because I think that through that a lot of healing can happen for the world. And I've always wanted to be authentic, and something inside of me said that I wasn't being authentic by sharing, and then there was those fears behind sharing too. But I want to say that I'm going to be consistent, and I want to say that I'm going to rise up and be able to be that shining light for everybody and show just like happiness and joy and the beauty that is life, because life is beautiful, and there's so much to be grateful for, and there's just endless supplies of amazing things around us. But needless to say, life does happen. And so, sometimes it can be really heavy. Sometimes it can be overly heavy to the point where you feel really, really alone and you don't think you can get out. And I've been writing quotes for a long time on my Twitter page. Actually, through this entire process, I've been tweeting. It's a lot easier for me to just write my thoughts as I process things than to get on here and speak, or to create a lengthy post to give to Instagram or Facebook. It takes a lot of energy to do that, but it doesn't take as much energy to just go through your thought processes and just tweet it quickly. But I can also get carried away in that too, where I will have so many thoughts going. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. That's another thing that I've come to realize, is that I have a hard time focusing, and there's a lot of patterns that are showing up with that. I haven't wanted to do the work. As much as I say, I'm doing the work, I'm doing as much as I can, I guess. So I have to be grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the smallest things, because you know, that's sometimes all you can do is the little things. And I'm just gonna I'm trying to get grounded in this space because I don't want to lose the intent. The intent of this post is to let you in, and I'm aware that people are going to perceive this the way that they want. They can say I'm unstable, or that I'm not at the level I need to be at, or you know, there's like lots of things that people say, and I know most of that is my own inner conflict, being judgmental of myself in this moment. But we need each other, and we need each other to be real. We need each other to be honest. We need each other to remind each other that when the darkness does come, it's not going to be there forever, and that it's okay to let ourselves not be perfect sometimes, and to trust the process of it. You know, I lost 3 people already this year, one of which was one of my really, really good friends, and life is so fragile. It's beautiful, but it's fragile too. Today I just finished doing yoga. I'm in my backyard. I did yoga. My little setup here. I don't know if you can see it. Interesting. I was gonna do this call live, and I decided to pull a card, and the card that came up was Authenticity Wolf card, and and it makes a lot of sense, because every time I get on here, I want to spread a message that is productive and informative and provides value and offers hope to people. But you know, how can you do that when it feels like it's planned out, and it feels like there's an expectation of what you go into? And so I'm trying my hardest to not be that way, because I don't want people to feel judged either. I'm gonna go into some of the questions. What is the reason you put blocks on yourself? Is there a fear of succeeding? I think you can. Oh, no, I definitely feel okay expressing my truth. Has almost gotten me into trouble being completely honest about things, but I will for sure answer that question. So, I put blocks on myself because I don't want to do it just because everybody else is doing it. Because my intention of these posts is not to just be like everybody else, but to come from my heart space and to really allow myself to be my own person and to be my own light. And it can be very hard to be your own light when there are certain standards and expectations that have evolved, that I have seen as success and that other people have deemed priority. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I almost fear that I'm not good enough sometimes. That's the block, is that I'm not up to that standard of having the nice house or consistent income to support myself or anything like that right now. And I have all the knowledge that I could ever want or need. I have been so blessed with wisdom based on the many different facets of life that I've experienced, and I've had the money. I've had certain things, and it felt beautiful and it felt good to have that security. But I know what people trust, and unfortunately what people trust is sometimes an illusion, and it's almost like people I'm a victim to it too in a lot of ways. And I don't mean victim as in we don't have choice, because we do, but it's there's a level of perfection that people look at and they say that's what it means to be successful. That's what it means to have consistency and discipline and resilience, right? Because if you're consistently falling back, is that really striving? Is that really improving? Is that really getting to the next level? But I guess there's a different level, from in your soul, I don't know, I'm not, and I say that because, I can see how I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong with so much, you know. We just don't know if we've never been in certain situations or gotten to that, like, that way of being. And it's a possibility for everybody, but I don't know. I think this last year definitely put a number on my my self-worth too, and like my self-esteem, and thinking that I already know how I can make things operate and that I can do it, but whether or not people really want to like trust me the way that they would trust another person just because of an image that's being presented. And that's a hard place to be when you know you can do a lot. But your abilities are limited. And not that they're limited, because of course we have endless, limitless possibilities, like I've said, but it's a lot of work trying to find your tribe and trying to find people that are like there to do that with you. And I think that's why I said like connection is so important right now. And like pardon me, as you can see, I'm still struggling with my lungs, which is another thing that has stopped me from being able to push forward. It's been over a year now with this lung issue, and it's hard. It's hard to move. It's hard to like I did 10 minutes of yoga today. That's the first time I've moved my body, except for yesterday. I started doing some raking, and even that is exhausting. It actually started making me want to dance. And that was the first time I danced for, God, months and months. And it's usually a couple days later that I start getting this sort of thing that happens. But yeah. Mighty Thor, you are human, just like everyone else. It's refreshing to see social media influencers show more than just the good stuff. Almost everyone deals with depression in some way or another. Be real, be you. Yeah. I get that fully. And, you know, I think that there's a difference between depression that comes and goes and that allows you to still function, and depression that comes and stays, and you sit there and you can't even, like, you don't have life, like, you don't want to live, you don't want to, like, do anything, which is where I had been and stayed for months. Months and months. So there is a difference, and we can all be faced with depression at times. But what I'm dealing with, unfortunately, is something that not everybody deals with, because depression, you can get out of it, you know, after a little bit. You know, it's not something severe, and that doesn't mean that I'm the only one that gets that, because there's obviously a lot of people that have had it or get it. Yeah. I just hope that if anybody's dealing with stuff, that they know that they're not alone, and that you're loved and you're accepted, and if nobody else does it, I'll accept you because I get it. You can even probably tell I can barely even look at the camera. That's how bad it is. And sometimes I look courageous and sometimes I act courageous, but I really don't feel it all the time. But yeah, you hold on till tomorrow, and if not, till the next hour. Yeah, I think it's important. And what I've been doing is that man, the days and weeks and months, like, they don't feel like they've existed, but I am taking it like one moment at a time and trying to focus on the now, but even then, it's even difficult to get up and make a coffee. It seems like a task. So if I start doing videos and if I start sharing my light again, I just want you to know that at this moment, my energy is not where it was by any means. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to improve, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to be this way forever. It just means that for now, this is the state I'm in. So, I really appreciate if you've been here through things, and I want to empathize with anybody that's dealing with depression or anything of that sort. I know this year for a lot of people has been hard with COVID and everything. I know firsthand what it feels like from more of the perspective of getting extremely sick and having to deal with real health issues. Right from the beginning when it just started, like before anybody really knew and before any lockdowns had even started, like it was the first like week it came in and I had already gotten that sickness. So losing jobs, financial struggles. I luckily don't have kids. I don't have to worry about that, and I've been blessed to have my grandparents welcome me into their home. As much as that has been a blessing, that's also brought in a lot of inner turmoil as well. But just really empathize. And I love you guys endlessly. I hope everybody's doing well. And I am going to get off of here now because I'm going to do some journaling and roll out my back and see how that feels. So, okay. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.